flew all the way from Johannesburg, South Africa. So it's great to be here.
Quality speakers, evidence-based conversations.
在一曲国际歌当中，全球南方国际传播论坛在上海拉开帷幕。那这次论坛的主题呢是全球南方和世界现代化，有200多位来自世界各国的官员、专家学者齐聚一堂。
Countries around the world, particularly in Africa, Asia, and Latin America, began to see in common.
It is clear that Global South must unite to advocate for a fair and inclusive global framework.
Therefore, we need a new model of development for the Global South. The question is how?
那我不知道大家是不是了解全球南方这个概念。从地理上来看呢，发达国家主要分布在北半球的北部，那发展中国家呢主要分布在北半球的南部和南半球，所以全球南方呢是新兴市场国家和发展中国家的一个集合体。但是通过这些年的发展呢，全球南方也变得越来越重要，全球经济占比已经提升到40%以上，逐渐成为国际秩序变革的一个关键力量。
And I think if you look into the future, as more and more countries in the global south, their economies grow, I think we are going to see a fundamentally different world, not just in economic terms, but also in political terms. I think global institutions like the United Nations, you'll see them changing more and more, and the voices from the global south becoming louder and louder.
The West has always treated the other is that they pay no respect to their identity, their civilization, their background. An example of how the American hegemon cannot impose its own rules on everyone else. So if, like for example, America forbids Iran to, for example, sell its oil, if Iran does that, it's illegal. Based on which law? Where does that law and where does that order come from? And what gives America that right to impose law and regulation on the whole world?
To be honest, there is still a lot of things to catch up on. I think it's very good that there is some kind of like awakening to its presence, its importance to the global economy and global politics of the global south. So I think this narrative should be explored more, should be developing, and countries of the global south should feel more of their power, that they can actually change things that are happening in this world.
如今，全球南方也正从全球治理的被动参与者转变为一个重要的推动者。那么，在此基础之上，全球南方也发出了反对战争、追求和平的声音。那今天在会议现场，嘉宾们对俄乌巴以2场冲突特别是加沙的人道状况表现出了特别的关注。
First of all, I think we should move away from just paying lip service to the concept of peace. We should address it as an urgent and real goal to be obtained, and to think about how we can advance towards it right now in a kind of an urgent way regarding the situation in the Middle East. So first of all, being able to understand what's happening in Palestine, it's not something that just began on the 7th of October. Recognizing that there's a people, there's a nation who have been treated in an inhuman way for decades.
I mean, China is doing a lot of effort, Russia, Brazil, South Africa, many countries of the Global South, they have been trying to create more unity among countries who are willing to or looking for a peaceful solution. But again, as long as the U.S. doesn't stop supporting Israel, it's going to be very hard to have a peaceful solution in the region, which is actually sad, very sad.
那除了关注全球热点，当然也要聚焦自身的发展。那全球南方国家在发展的过程当中，也面临各种各样的挑战，例如气候变化、贫困、经济不平等等等。所以今天的另外一大讨论议题呢，就是如何将挑战化为机遇，制定长期的国家和区域发展议程。
I think now it's time maybe to change the roles. China can play a role of some sort of like the big brother who comes with innovation, technology, and countries in the global south, Latin America, Africa, Asia, we can also benefit from that.
I have many colleagues who used to go to the West, and they were they admire the West a lot. When they come to China, the image of the China totally changed. So the idea that they are receptive of us, they don't look at us from a superior, inferior.
When the West in the main cooperates, with countries in the global south. I mean, it wants to impose certain conditions to determine how those relations should go. And I think what is different about the rise of China and other countries in the global south is that they are bringing a new paradigm, in a sense, in this cooperation, a paradigm that emphasizing equal partnerships.